Thoday is
like
Thursday, but Thoday.
I'll try to spit that out. I'll try to get it out. Right, you comfortable?
Yep.
We're recording.
Good stuff. All right. Well, just for you, because I know you like your Prosecco.
I do.
We've got new Prosecco glasses today, especially for you.
Wonderful. I love champagne, but champagne does not love me.
Oh,
anymore.
really?
No.
Well, it's actually, we were told by one of our guests that the reason why champagne and bubbles like that is that they've got small carbonated bubbles, which apparently are absorbed quicker.
More lethal, right?
Which is the reason why it's a little bit more lethal, especially on the ladies.
Yeah.
So there you go. Fun fact.
Yes, I'd love to be able to be, wonderful enough to drink champagne all the time, but it is now Prosecco.
Well, I feel like I should have bought you a bottle of champagne just to see how things go.
Well, I mean, carnage.
There you go, ma'am.
Thank you.
It is such a pleasure. Cheers. Welcome to Lured Studios. What did you think when you came up the stairs?
I mean, it's incredibly visually impressive. I wasn't expecting it to be as curated and detailed,
professional,
and
you mean?
Cared for.
Oh yes.
Yeah, no, it's professional, but it's because it has love behind it, because you've done lots of little detailed things.
Yeah, that's me. I've got an eye for detail, which is good. That's one of my nice traits.
Okay.
We can talk about the other ones if you really want. So, are you ready to do this?
Yes. Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to live until I die. Come connect, you know it's a lewd state of mind. Yeah. Talking traveling, if you wanna fly. Fitness and finance, living a better life. Keep it raw, no filter. Living with no limit. Thank you for tuning in. Come on, let's get it.
Helen.
Brendan.
Thoday. Helen Thoday. Did I correct that? Did I spell that? Did I start again?
Yeah.
See what I mean? Helen Thoday, welcome to Lured State of Mind.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Such a pleasure to have you in the studio. Do we give our listeners an idea straight up as to the reason why you're sitting here today on a Sunday afternoon in Melbourne?
Well, you might have a different reason to me.
Well, what's your reason?
Well, my reason is part of it is a right of reply, because as you well know, my husband was on here a couple of episodes ago.
Mr. Sustainability.
Mr. Sustainability.
That went out last Friday. It's tracking really well too,
excellent.
By the way.
Well,
it was a good chat.
Old school sustainability, which is quite a unique skill. And as you noticed, I was not mentioned until you mentioned me 42 minutes in. So I'm basically here because of that, and also because of you and meeting you and Ash as a friend.
Yes, this is all very fresh, which is good, because as we've explained before, Ash and I have come from St Kilda down to Mordialloc to Bayside.
Yep. And
to be honest, at this point in my life, I was not really looking for any more friends.
Yeah.
I was not looking to expand my horizons.
Yeah.
And then, we get down here, we meet Cookie, we meet Mateo, obviously been guest, Warren, you.
Yeah.
Who am I missing out? Rigger.
Yeah.
Rigger's going to come down. Hopefully he's going to be in the studio because your lovely husband's sitting in the back room at the moment while we speak.
And Emma and Eric.
That's right.
Yeah.
Emma.
I never thought I'd meet an Eric and an Ivan so late in my life. A couple of Viking names.
Well, I was going to say.
And neither of them are. So
they're not Vikings?
No.
No Viking heritage?
So. No. I mean, Eric, definitely not. He's from the wrong side of the North Sea.
Shout out to Eric. I hope you're listening, mate. I hope you've tuned in, supporting Helen.
I think Ivan's got the physicality to have potentially been a Viking.
Yes, of course.
I think he's about as English as I am.
He's got a big soft heart.
Yep.
I can't imagine him doing any raping or any pillaging.
No, fingers crossed.
Yes.
Yeah, for everybody.
Exactly. Well, as I said, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here today. You were scheduled for later on down the track, but we had a late exclusion. You're here now.
Yes.
You've got your bubbles. You're
Yeah.
relaxed.
Yes.
Feeling good.
My favourite topic is me.
It is it. So we're just going to talk about you all day. That's good because nobody wants to hear what I've got to say.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear
I'm
about
gonna
me.
ask you some questions.
Oh, you're going to really?
Yep. Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
We'll get to that
totally.
a little bit later on. So first up, what exactly would you like to achieve today? Because I mean, everybody comes here for different reasons.
Yeah.
For some people, it's about facing their fears and doing something that they've never done before. I mean, although podcasting is very popular, to become a podcast guest, you sort of think that most platforms want people that have high value, maybe some sort of celebrity or some sort of nous, industry leaders. Lured State of Mind is all about the people. It's for the people. So we want everyday people with everyday stories.
Yep.
That's our target audience, and we started that right from the outset. Haven't wavered from it, and I think that the combination of the formula is just working a treat. I hope everybody agrees. You know, so and it's good for me personally, as I've said previously. It's not about me; it's about giving back to the community in one way, or helping our guests maybe understand certain things about themselves, and not so much about having a revelation in the studio, but maybe unloading and unpacking some stuff.
Yeah.
I often think that we've got the formula wrong, where we should be charging our guests for the therapy session. So,
Definitely.
because some of them are 2 hours. I mean, that's like $500 in a psychologist suite.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we're trying to do, and I hope that we get that today with you.
Yeah.
Because I can see there's there's just this little girl wanting to get out, and do you understand? Because I've seen you got a lovely photo that you sent through of you holding a guinea pig, and I know you. I've known you for a short period of time, and then when you show me a photo of you as a 5 or 6 year old girl, it's just I could see the innocence, but I could also see that there's a lot of stuff that you've been through in your history that you want to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel the lured thing stands out to me because I have designed my life and taken choices along the way which are counter to a lot of social norms, which is why we're talking about earlier making friends as an adult, and I have had to learn that skill by moving around the world.
Does that not come naturally to you?
Most people, someone said to me a long time ago, I was stood on the steps of a pub after the smoking ban had kicked in, and you met loads of random people when you were smoking outside pubs rather than at your table.
This is in the UK.
Yeah.
Because we haven't really got to that yet, have we? But we'll come back to that.
And someone said to me, he was an old sort of theatrical chap that always wore different hats, and he lived in the village, and he said to me, you go deep or you go wide. And in terms of the community, so you either have a small group of people that you dedicate your social life to, loads about them, you go real depth of understanding of that person, or you go wide, a lot of people, but not particularly
Intimately.
well. Yeah. And that sort of stuck with me. And this is the 5th country I've lived in as an adult, and even as someone over 30, and so you have a whole opportunity when you're growing up to meet friends, whether it's at school, you might change schools, it's teenagers, you evolve. I went to university, then you start work, and most of the time those people just stay with you as your friend, as your sort of merry band of people. And when you leave them all behind, and then you continually leave them all behind, you have to work out how to meet new people. So
does that affect you going forward, the fact that you're leaving these friends behind? I mean, obviously you make decisions based on where you're at in life that are going to benefit you going forward, you and your partner, or even you just by yourself going forward. So it's a little bit of a selfish thing.
It's a very selfish pursuit.
But you have to be that way sometimes to get to where you need to be in life, because I know a lot of people that have just grown up in the same town, stayed there, never travelled, never gone anywhere.
Yes.
And I think, what sort of a person have they evolved into? They haven't evolved.
Yeah. I mean, well, if we all did it, if we all moved around all the time, I'm not sure it would work, because we do need communities that build into bigger societies. But I was comfortable leaving people behind to pursue what I wanted. Like you say, it's a selfish pursuit. And I was taught that from a young age, and my family upbringing was about independence and trying anything.
Being the best you could be, best version.
Yeah, I don't know if they would have used, my parents were very traditional. I don't know whether they would have used that language. They'd almost see it as quite American to be too. Oh,
really?
Yeah, to be too
outward.
Yeah. But we were definitely taught to explore and consider ourselves capable of trying anything. And it didn't really matter if you did well or didn't do well. It was about the experience.
That's good, solid advice from your parents, though, isn't it? You know, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about the opposite of that, where some kids are just told not to dream.
Yeah.
Don't be silly.
Yeah.
Don't be silly. That's never going to happen. You know?
Or the other way around, where you're told you can be the best at everything or anything.
Yeah,
and it's like, if you can't sing, you can't sing. You know, there are some physical or cognitive boundaries that people have. So I think that's almost setting people up for failure. But doing your best, whatever your best might be, like you may never be the fastest runner, but it doesn't stop you running. But telling someone that they could go to the Olympics when fundamentally hardly any of us can, I would say is a bit, not.
You're setting them up for failure, aren't you? And the failure is actually probably worse than not trying in the first place.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, but designing my life, picking the things I did, having the opportunity to do that, never being told that wasn't an option, never feeling it wasn't an option because I was pulled back and not feeling I could go on. And all my friends in the various places always supported that. My very good friend in New Zealand, her husband was funny when I first met her, because he said, don't bother investing in her, she'll move on. And
about you?
Yeah. Because we were known for people, that moved around a lot. And so you, again, goes into the...
What do they call those?
Friends.
Gypsies.
Yeah.
But
we have great gypsies in our
Warren's
county.
a great example of a gypsy. He looks like one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Well, he's the stereotypical. He's in the back room. Okay. How's that whiskey going, mate? Is that going down all right? Yeah. Good. Good to hear. That was with love. I'm not calling you a gypsy out of disrespect, mate. Not at all. Not at all.
Depends which
nomadic. Hey, you're nomadic.
Yeah,
There you go. There's a better.
It's a big world,
isn't it?
Yeah.
What exactly?
Big world.
You don't want to die wondering, do you? Hey, let's go back to the start.
Yep.
You grew up in the UK.
Yes.
Which area? Which town?
So we had a really cool county. It's where all the Druids come. So we had all the crop circles, all the white horses, Stonehenge, all the spooky ancient stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So a very, very ancient county. And, we still don't really understand Stonehenge to this day. And it's very middle class. Like, it was very white. The only kids in our school that with any ethnic diversity ran the local restaurants. So we just had one couple of families. So we didn't get much exposure to many other cultures.
So fish and chips and Indian
and Chinese takeaways.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Which still would have been new in my generation, but mum and dad's generation probably wouldn't.
So you're Gen X. You're the same as me.
Yeah.
Well, you're late 40s.
Yeah, 49 in October. Yeah. So we had a cool upbringing where we had all that mystical stuff, but we also had Margaret Thatcher as primarily as my prime minister for many, many years, which seemed quite normal growing up to have a female leader. And what we now know is that was pretty unusual.
Well, as you say, you think back about it now, that you're in an era that was never repeated.
No. And the only two female prime ministers the UK have had since have been pretty hopeless and not lasted.
Do you remember looking up to Maggie?
I don't know if I probably look up to her on reflection, because now I realise how hard it must have been. And she was a particularly unique character, like still cooked for her husband every night, Dennis, but then was so forceful about the Falkland Islands and about the miners' strikes, which we, coming from the south of England, thought, oh, what the miners talking about? But the older you get, the more you understand what they were fighting for and how devastating that was. So she was divisive, but she was incredibly strong. And, the famous line about the Falkland Islands, she said, I want my islands back. And she spent the money to go and get them back.
Yeah, good on her.
And people really rallied around that.
Yeah.
But, on reflection, she did loads of cool stuff with Reagan as well. They were both famous. They only slept 4 hours each a night, but then ended up getting Alzheimer's because there's a common link between sleep and or lack of sleep consistently and Alzheimer's. Yeah. But did some cool stuff. I think leadership was sort of simpler then. It was sort of macro stuff like the Cold War, council tax, miners' strikes. It wasn't as nuanced as it is now, where you have to, with social media, they're looking at every tiny part of you. So yeah, on reflection, I was very, very fortunate to have a female leader running the country as such a strong figure. Out
of 10, what are you going to give her for her reign?
For her reign, well, she was re-elected 3 times, so I would give her a solid 8. My husband, who's based in the north of England, may disagree because they had a bigger impact from what the miners went through. But I think down south we thought she was pretty
cool.
Good.
Cool and hip.
Yeah. But, strange voice and very strange hair now, but looking back on it. But yeah.
I reckon Maddie, while we're chatting, Maddie's going to pull up a video. I'll give you some time, mate. No pressure. Just what you can. I want to hear her. I want to hear. I want to relive her.
Yeah.
Now you've said we a couple of times with regards to your upbringing. There's obviously your mother, your father.
Yep.
Siblings.
Yeah, I had an older brother.
Yep.
So the 4 of us.
Had or have?
He died a few years ago. But he had a very complicated life.
How so?
Well, if he had sought help, we probably would be able to put some words around it. But he never did. But he.
So this is mentally, not physically.
A bit.
That's what I'm getting.
He had some significant mental health challenges, which led to an addiction cycle for him for his adult life.
Throughout his whole adult life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it started when he was a teenager?
Yeah, and then he never left. Yeah, died at home. Always lived with mum.
How was your relationship with him?
It was incredible. He was 4 years older than me, and it was incredible until the addiction made him selfish.
Okay.
And then after that, we were estranged, and I didn't enjoy what he did to our family. But it wasn't him. It's really hard to not bind the addiction and the human together. But he did talk about live until I die. He never got the opportunity because drugs robbed him of living ultimately. And so I sort of have a huge amount of sympathy for his pathway, but I think he was supported enough and intelligent enough that if he was stronger, he could have made a choice that wasn't his pathway, but he chose the easy way, which is to just succumb to
the addiction.
Yeah, and to be looked after, and so he didn't. It's so strange that we are so different. But when we were growing up, we were exactly the same opportunities. He was incredibly bright, much brighter than me, and I think that some of that was his downfall. Yeah, thought about the world too much.
Yeah,
it's too big for him.
Do you think his internal thoughts about everything took over to the point where he needed to release, which is why he went down that route.
It could have done. There is a term when you do get accidentally addicted, so you don't really have a trauma that you're running from, or a dark sort of artistic soul that needs to be dampened or released.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can just literally get physically addicted to incredibly strong substances. So I never got the opportunity to talk to him about it. And he didn't seek any help that made any difference. So yeah, I didn't see him for a good probably 20 years. But I always remember our childhood being brilliant. But we're just born into a generation that repressed. You know, that's what our parents couldn't talk about things, repressed a lot. So he may have had something to say and never been able to say it to anyone.
Are your parents still alive?
My dad's dead. He died a couple of years ago, so it's just me and mum. And weirdly, they are both single children. And so I have no aunts, uncles. And they were both quite old when they had us, so no grandparents. So it was
the lineage
just the four of us.
Stops with you.
Well, my brother has a daughter who I have chosen to contact regularly to make sure she's okay, because she is the last Thoday.
Yeah.
Even though that's not her surname. So eventually it will just be me and her. Yeah. So we're very small family.
Did you get a chance to talk to your dad about your upbringing or about anything that was prevalent in your childhood?
No, my dad was very traditional, very distant. The children were mum's thing.
Okay, he worked?
He worked, yeah, and very, mum would say selfish. We had, he was part of the family. He wasn't absent, but because we all had to eat together at night and all have the same dinner, and even if it was casserole or something that he wanted to eat, it was very, very traditional. And I often wonder what him and mum talked about my brother, but I'll never know. Yeah, whether they actually had a grown up conversation about what was happening.
Well, so it went on with your brother for 3-4 decades.
Yeah.
So they'd been dealing with that for that amount of time.
Yeah.
Do you think they got to the point where they couldn't give any more?
Mum
couldn't love any harder?
Yeah, mum did all that. Yeah, that was her thing. And the only reason it really played out like it did is that our family home is really big. It's just a bizarre thing to say. The privilege of living in a really large house meant everyone could live in their own way.
Are we talking about wings?
It's not quite
so
wings,
you got the east wing.
You can't hear anyone from one side of the house to the other. So my brother could live happily in one side of the house almost independently.
You said you're middle class, yeah?
Yeah.
But just had a really big house.
Yeah, well, that would be the people that have the big houses. Yeah, in our county anyway. But it was just a big old stone property that my dad was smart enough to buy 60 odd years ago. Yeah, it wasn't expensive when he bought it, as houses weren't then. And then he never moved. So it was...
If your dad wasn't working and he wasn't at home sitting at the dinner table...
He was working.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If he wasn't working or he wasn't at home, what was he doing?
He was always working.
So that's just what he did?
Yeah, but he worked at home. So he'd be in his study.
Okay. What do you do for a job? I'm intrigued now.
Oh, he had a very cool life. So he was a horticulturalist by trade. So he was the dean of the Bath University Horticulture Department. But he took early retirement and ended up on some insane pension, which was back in the day you could do. So he retired at about 50, I think. And then he set up his own consultancy, and he basically did like restored old gardens and used all the original practices that gardeners used. And his huge project that spanned about 20 years was the Eden Project in Cornwall, the big biomes that have all these sort of specific species from around the world. And he was one of the original people that thought of that.
So he curated all that.
Yep.
And managed, or was he hands-on or not?
Yeah, got it to a point, and then obviously it got big and commercial, and then him and his mates stepped away from it, and it's its own business now. But yeah, I remember them all sitting around and designing one of the biggest things in the south of England. And that kind of work consumes you because it's like an intellectual work rather than a doing. And so you could talk and talk and talk forever about things like that.
When you're passionate about something, and you've got projects like that, nothing else fucking matters.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm not saying he didn't tend to his family as he should have. He was. I presume he's got the same idea as where I'm trying to provide for my family. And make sure that everybody's happy, everybody's fed, everybody's in the house, they're warm. And that's how he fitted in to the ecosystem. Yeah,
well, we fitted into his ecosystem. I think I would. My mum did all the heavy lifting around that. Doesn't mean he wasn't. We went on family holidays, and they were always really boring.
Did you get any father-daughter time?
No.
No.
No. It did when I was older. I went off to agricultural college. That's when the interest kicked in, and then we were always talking on the phone about farming and the different countries I moved to and all that kind of stuff. But when we were growing up, it was mum.
Did you do that because of what your dad's done?
I don't.
Did you seek
so
approval from him by doing that?
No, I don't think I did. My mum and I have the more complicated relationship. My relationship with dad was pretty simple. He was like, come back when you're more interesting, like, because you're little and I don't really understand children. Which I
kids are like
with.
that. They are. There's a certain age where you just hurry up and grow up so we can have a conversation with them.
Exactly. And mum provided such a magical upbringing that we probably didn't notice he wasn't. And you only know what you know. You don't know that. That's not what's happening. But when I was a teenager, I went off on these other holidays with other families, and I was like, oh, this is a different version of a family.
Yeah, of course it is.
And of course our house was really popular with teenagers because my mum would always have frozen pizzas in the freezer, and of course they could party in our house because no one could hear anyone. So it was a real social place when we were
Happy
late.
days.
Yeah.
So you were the
we had a pub up the road.
You were the cool kid on the block.
Yeah, and it's just probably through that reality of where I lived. Yeah, and we had a pub down the road, and that's when you could, drink underage and have fun. So yeah, it was good. It was I didn't feel I was missing anything growing up.
But as you say, you look at other families and they just do it differently.
Yeah.
They just do it differently.
Yeah.
As long as there was no trauma, no angst, no, a lot of people come from different homes and households.
Yeah.
And different cultures, they all do things differently.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that have had stuff happen in their past, which you think was very nominal, very minor, that they still hold on to this day.
Yeah.
And you wonder why.
But I think that the absent, or just, dad was in the background and mum worked as well. So we were left for long periods of time on our own, as you were in those days. It wasn't quite go out and come back at dinner, but we had the roaming. We lived in the countryside, so we could go wherever we want at any point, always considered safe. I did ask my mum the last time I went back, I was like, did you ever worry about, paedophiles or kidnappers? And she was like, oh, no, I just didn't, they just didn't think that compared to now where we're worried about everyone all the time. So it was a very luxurious position to be in when no one really worried about those things.
Well, that was the era of the serial killer back in those times, wasn't it? Because they could get away with anything. No social media, no cameras, no CCTV, no
And
nothing.
now we know that most of the people we were watching on TV were paedophiles, like Rolf Harris and Jimmy.
Well, don't say, you got to say Jimmy Carr.
Oh, no. Jimmy Savile. So that was the irony, wasn't it? They were let into our homes in a different way. But yeah, cool. But that's where the independence started and the choice, learning at an early age to make choices that suited me.
I think I can connect with that being a Kiwi, because same but different.
Yeah.
You know, not in a country, in a small town, but having that freedom to explore, to evolve, to grow as a young person.
Yeah.
And my dad, I hardly got to see him growing up because he was working.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of conversations with him, and he said, "Look, I was just trying to feed 6 mouths. I was trying to pay the mortgage. He ran his own business, you know, so there was that associated with it, doing long hours, and it was all about just getting ahead and looking after your family." Completely different these days, because people aren't having kids; they aren't having tribes of children.
Yes, it's too expensive.
And we'll get to that a little bit later. I think Maddie's got a Margaret Thatcher video queued up, so we'll dive back into her because look at her, she's lovely. What's she got to say here, Maddie?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the House meets this Saturday to respond to a situation of great gravity. We are here because for the first time for many years, British sovereign territory has been invaded by a foreign power. After several days of rising tension in our relations with Argentina, that country's armed forces attacked the Falkland Islands yesterday and established military control of the islands. Mr. Speaker, yesterday was a day of rumour and counter-rumour. Throughout the day, we had no communication from the government of the Falklands. Indeed, the last message we received was at 21:55 hours on Thursday night, the 1st of April.
I think we'll stop it there, Maddie. That she seems a little bit upset, doesn't she? and we can understand why now, knowing that. Hopefully, YouTube once again doesn't flag that and get us to pull that down, Maddie. So
no one's making money out of Thatcher's speeches, surely.
Well, you never know. You never know. Maybe one of her siblings has a copyright on it. So we get a letter from their lawyer.
Yeah.
Hey, old chaps, pull that down.
Yes.
That's not.
But that accent and those voices, it's just so funny.
It's so prim and proper, isn't it?
You wouldn't get very far with votes with that voice these days.
Today, no. Maybe if we went back to the old school ways, maybe things would be less fucking hectic in this stupid world that we're living in.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's crazy. Hey, so you've had a really good upbringing. I was going to ask you one question. Did you consider yourself a tomboy growing up?
Yes, it's a great word. And I considered myself, who I didn't know that at the time. But yes, and that's what led to more of a practical adult job and seeking out farming. Yeah.
Maddie, I think we've got as I said, I was referencing that young photo of you before.
Yes.
There you go.
There I am.
What a cutie.
What an award-winning guinea pig. And well done for knowing it's a guinea pig. Most people say it's a hamster.
Yes.
Which is
well, I'm not American, so it's automatically guinea pig. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice,
exactly.
Nice.
So you got an award for a good-looking guinea pig.
Yeah, that's Polly. Won Best Pet at Aberystwyth, which is in Wales.
Went all the way to Wales for that.
My mum and I and my brother went all the way to Wales regularly to show our guinea pigs. So that was another quirky thing that my mum taught me, which was to just do something you want to do.
Yeah.
And so she loved guinea pigs. So we all love guinea pigs, and we went to show them, which is a very unusual thing. None of my friends were doing that.
Well, I grew up in a rural town, and we used to have the A&P show every year, and of course you got the cows, you got the sheep. Yeah. Actually, Maddie, there's that. I was going to ask you about this particular brand of sheep before I forget.
Oh yeah.
Maddie's got a nice little video there. He's just going to pull up for us. As a Kiwi, I find these quite seductive.
yeah, they're kind of. Are they Egyptian?
Played it through
They
me.
might even be goats.
Oh, you reckon they're goats, not sheep?
Yeah, they could be goats.
Warren, are you getting turned on right now?
Got a big
They
smile.
don't. Those two don't have tails, and all the rest do. But yeah,
That's
very
weird. Anyway, and we've already discussed, we all know how fucked my algorithm is for
Yeah.
the research for this show.
Yeah.
So, great upbringing. Love to hear about it. Unfortunately, Dad passed away just recently, yeah?
Yeah, 2023.
Yeah. Where were you when he passed away? Do you remember?
I was in New Zealand.
Yep.
He was still fitting a window with some putty, and he said, "There's a young fella that helps out at Mum and Dad's house," and they were fitting the window, and he went inside, and he said to Tom, "I'm just gonna go and grab a cup of tea," and
Have a sit down?
yeah, and he went upstairs and he dropped dead. And then Mum came back in the house a couple of times and was like, they had a very strong routine, you know, like we always have tea or coffee at this time, blah, blah, blah. And she thought he'd missed a couple because it was so regular. And so she went upstairs and found him. So he died very active.
Heart
which
attack?
Is which is what he would have wanted.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was sort of pleased in one way that's what he got at the end.
And it was instant or quick?
Yeah, he just died.
Yeah.
And hit the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good for everybody.
Yeah, and we're a pretty scientific family, so because Mum and Dad are both in the sciences, so the reality of that actually brings comfort rather than it's
Yeah.
there's no judgment around it. It's just
We're all going to die
yeah, totally.
eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how I want to go, but I'm not going to mention it.
Okay.
No, I won't mention it.
Yeah. So that's just me and Mum now.
When did you leave the UK?
So I left the UK in 2011, I think. Yeah, 2010, 2011.
And by that
something
stage,
like
you were fully qualified. What was you'd been to university?
Yeah, so I left school. So the great thing about knowing I wanted to go into agriculture early was you did not need good grades. So
Did you not have good grades?
no, because I didn't need to. So I was very rebellious as a teenager because I had all this independence and I knew I didn't really need to try at school. And so Mum made a deal with me. She just said, just get through your education. I just want you to, because she was in education herself and she knew how many opportunities you got. And the joke was always I don't want you with pink hair working in a cake shop, which is weird because people with pink hair that own bakeries are now, it's like
Dime
a
a
really
dozen.
cool, a really cool job.
Yeah.
So anyway, I only needed so I left school to go farming at about, I didn't leave school. I did the bare minimum at school from about 15 and then just went through my, whatever they call them, the exams you do around 15 and the exams you do around 17. So we call them GCSEs and A-levels.
Yeah.
So I did the bare minimum, wasn't particularly interested in school, didn't offer me much, built this life outside through agriculture on my local farm. And took a year off before I went.
At 17 or 8?
17.
18?
Yeah,
17?
18. Went over to Ireland for a bit because my mum was like, you need to go off and do something, make your world
Drink, smoke.
bigger. Yeah. Stop drinking and smoking with the same people. Go and drink and smoke with some different people. And then headed off to agriculture and made a whole heap of friends.
And that was back in the UK where you went to university.
I never really kept in contact with any of my school friends. They weren't particularly important to me at that point. Yeah.
Do you know any of them now?
I do now through a strange twist of fate that my best friend from school is back in the town that we... but if it wasn't for that, I don't think I would have connected with them. Yeah.
There's no way you're going back there. Or your mum's still there.
Yeah, I do go
'Cause your
back.
mum, actually, you've just been there recently, haven't you? See your mum.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel when you go back home? Because I know the emotions that go through me when I land back in
Yeah.
the place I grew up,
Yeah.
and they're very mixed.
Very mixed, exactly right. So, like the further the time is on from my brother dying and my dad dying, the easier it gets, because my mum has obviously been grieving for years, like a double whammy, and losing a child is a particular type of grief. So it was pretty miserable for the first few visits, and then it just sort of gets better because time is a healer in some ways. Yeah, so it gets better. But I go back and stay in the same room that I grew up in. Like, you just repress back to being a teenager, and which is really fun because that's a holiday in itself.
Yeah.
You get to sort of poke around and see what other people have done, and then you get to take off again.
Still got the same quilts on the bed and stuff like that?
It wouldn't be far off, yeah.
Doilies and stuff around the house?
It's not too doily. My parents were not doily people.
So your mum's still in that same big house, is that correct?
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
By herself?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's a screaming socialist, so it's quite funny when I poke her about, think how many, refugees could be living in this house. She's like, I know, shush, I don't want to move.
Fair enough. She's earned the right.
Yeah, but it was all, big talk about being, doing the right thing for the society for many years. But now she's on her own in a massive house. She's
earned
less
it.
interested.
She's earned the right.
Yeah.
She's old enough to go, no.
Yeah.
She's probably going to pass away in the house, which is what a lot of people want to do. They just want to. They don't want to go anywhere. My dad's the same. I don't want to. I want to die in my chair here.
Yes.
Abby. That's the way I want to go.
Yeah. So I went off to ag college that was 4 years. That included a year on farm. You had to work as part of your degree, which was a cool thing. So I ended up on a pig farm in the outskirts of Birmingham, which was really grim.
Is that a bit of a shithole?
Yeah, absolute.
Right. You weren't going to say it. I said it.
Yeah.
I can say it.
Yeah. I don't. It's probably all housing now.
Yeah.
But So went into pigs. Loved pigs. Very clever things. And
do you feel bad for the pigs?
Well, I've talked about holding two truths at the same time. One is I want people to have great animal welfare for their pigs, but I also eat pork.
You love bacon.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there is nothing wrong with the whole point of farming is you choose when an animal lives or dies, if you're a livestock farmer, unless they have an accident or something. So you go into that sector knowing you're producing protein, but on the way through, you can provide those animals with everything they need for their reality of being a farmed animal.
Yep.
Yeah.
As you say, pigs are more intelligent than
Very
some of other
intelligent.
livestock. So it's
Yeah.
I can see how people get emotionally connected to
Yeah.
the whole scenario. And if that's the case, I think you've just got to step aside. I think you've just got to remove yourself from the situation because it can't be good for you long term. Just the turmoil of getting connected to some stock, and then obviously they've got to be culled, they've got to be slaughtered. And then the cycle repeats. I mean, that's like a bad fucking recurring dream to me, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
And it's an ironic, I think, with people's choices about food is often misinformation or visuals that you see from the side of the road often mean that the animals that actually have the least connection to their own natural, how they would be their own natural life cycle are often the ones that vegetarians will keep going with. So lamb is one of the production systems that is the closest to nature. The mum gets to keep the lamb. They run around on grass. There's no indoor lambs.
Yep. No, exactly.
And it's as close to nature as possible. That's usually the first one people cut out because they go, oh, I love lambs. And it's like, well, actually, if you're going to cut anything out, it's probably closer to dairy production because that's more hard on the cow having her calf taken away.
And of course, and chickens as well too.
Yeah, and chickens.
Warren got straight into the chickens first up in his podcast.
Yeah, meat chickens.
Quick question for you: is it true that pigs can devour a human body quite quickly?
Yeah, well, it was in Snatch, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You can feed them anything.
Yep.
I've watched.
Are we talking bones and all?
Yeah,
are we talking like skull? Like they can crush the skull? Yeah.
They'll eat bones. So Warren and I watched a large pig devour a Falklands goose in about 20 seconds. Stripped it.
There would have been a big goose too.
So it was able to put its trotters on it on the legs. It was dead already because they chucked it in. Trotters on the leg, degloved the whole thing, ate it, feathers, body, the lot. Yeah, they're amazing things. Yeah, they are the world's recycler.
Yes.
Yeah, you can feed them anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for confirming that.
But yeah, I imagine over the years there's been some body disposal. But
well, it's easier than digging a hole, isn't it?
I think there was a case in Canada not long ago where a pig farmer was found to be. That's where some people have gone missing.
Bloody Canucks, eh?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he's from.
No, the Canucks, the Canadians.
Yeah. They were. He was in.
Haven't you lived in Canada?
I have.
I say Canada in Canada.
Canucksville.
Canucks. Yeah, there you go. Canucks.
Yes.
Loonies, toonies, and all the rest of it. Yeah. Did you enjoy your time there?
Yes, I. Yeah, it was a year. It was incredibly cold, and but met some cool people. I had a cool job, and Warren got his dream of big cropping. Out on the prairies, so that was a fun thing to do together.
Wow. Hey, let's take a break and then we can come back and dive into it.
Okay, thanks.
This podcast is brought to you by Holy Shirt Australia. Holy Shirt Australia are 100% online. They're Australia's largest no minimum custom print and embroidery company. All their services are completed in-house and they can deliver all orders promptly and professionally. They like to keep it simple and straightforward, so they offer cool stuff that can be custom printed or embroidered to your liking. They have an easy-to-use online designer to build your custom apparel from the comfort of your home or office. They offer pricing that reflects your individual order, and remember, they are no minimum on all their products. They deliver what the customer expects when they expect it. They've got over 1,500 products ready for you to custom print or embroider today, right now. So head to holyshirt.com.au for all your custom clothing requirements. Well, that's one pieced off out of the way. You knew the schedule. I got a rundown sheet. 40 minutes, Brendan's got to pee.
Yeah.
30 minutes, Brendan's got to pee. 20 minutes, Brendan's got to pee. So we're in the next phase.
Okay, it gets shorter and shorter.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's all downhill from here. All downhill. How do you think you went in your first 40 minutes?
Yeah, well, it goes quickly.
It does, doesn't it?
But yeah, it's interesting.
You're happy with your performance so far?
Yes. I think it's always interesting because I've had therapy to prepare myself for my brother's death, and because I think preparing for anything, if you were going to run a marathon or do an extreme activity like climb Everest, you prep.
Of course.
And so if you're going to go into a mentally difficult challenge, you should prep your brain and have frameworks to fall back on. So I had a series of therapy in Taupo in New Zealand with a brilliant woman who helped me understand when I went back to my family, who I hadn't seen from in their kind of dynamic for many years, how to prepare for that, which was a very, very useful investment.
And it was successful?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're just aware of it all happening. Like you just don't go in blind, and you can sort of have a more of an out of body experience whilst you're living it. So you can live it, and then you can have that kind of like you're watching over yourself going, yeah, the therapist said that might happen, and this is when you use this analogy or that framework. So yeah, I just think it's brilliant.
Well, are you mentally prepared for what you're about to see? Of course, at halftime we like to do a segment called Dead or Alive.
Okay.
I think you get the idea of what it's.
Are you going to name humans?
Well, we don't like
pigs. I've loved and known.
We don't like seeing people die, but we do like seeing people in situations that might make you cringe, or you might laugh. I tend to laugh awkwardly at all the really bad stuff.
Cool.
That's how I cope with it.
Okay.
And as we've talked about, my algorithm's completely fucked because I've got to do the research for this. So, Maddie, let's have a look at this episode's Dead or Alive.
It's like the Darwin Awards.
Pause there, Matt. Sorry, did you say Darwin Awards?
Do you know about the Darwin Awards?
Refresh my memory.
It's basically how a number of people over the last year have died in very stupid pursuits. So, survival of the fittest
Right,
is
of course,
Darwin's
of
theory.
course.
So,
Yes, this encompasses
this is
that.
actually the Darwin Awards is sort of celebrating people who probably should drop out of the gene pool.
Natural selection. Well, see, the thing is that introduction song was actually a campaign targeted towards young children about I think it's round the train tracks or something.
Oh yeah,
don't
get
your
kite caught up in the substation.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. So that's we're on the same
on board.
page. There we go. We're on board. Do you mountain bike? Have you mountain biked?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you done this?
I haven't done. I'm not very. Yeah, I prefer flatter.
You can play this through,
Yeah.
Maddie. Yeah. And there's another one. Oh Jesus Christ!
Because they've all got GoPros now.
Well, everybody's got GoPros. I initially thought that was AI, but it's not. Is it, Maddie? No, it's real. It's real.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, and the fear is real too. If you've ever mountain biked like that. Oh, what do we got here? Well, let's paint a story. Let's paint it. What do you think? What do you think's going to happen here?
Well, I've obviously moved house a lot. And the two of us have hauled a lot of appliances around. I think the person in the red jumper is going to go.
Well,
way
can
over
I
the top of them.
can I just point your attention to the lady in the green top with the blue pants? You see her leg is folded back in on
Already.
itself there already.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Do you think that's the catalyst?
could be.
Yeah.
could
Well, let's
be.
find out.
Oh, yes. Oh,
I hope the oven's all
no.
right.
Who's videoing it? That's what gets me.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dear. Play that through, Maddie. Oh, this takes me back to NZ.
Mm-hmm.
This takes me back to the boys having a night on the piss. And this is what happens.
Go.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear the thud?
Men are so weird.
I tell you what,
Good idea.
there's just as many videos of females doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, mate. He slammed hard. He's going to feel that. Whoa, stop, Matt. This, I was going to pass this one. I thought, no, this does sum up a lot of men.
Okay.
And as it says up the top, when you find a friend who's just as dumb as you, paint a picture. There's two guys holding a log of wood.
Log.
And what do you think they're going to do?
I have no idea.
Well, Maddie's going to show us.
Okay.
It's also just proof that this is why women live longer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thanks for that, Maddie.
Oh. Wow. Do you think they saw something on a karate video where you can take out
I have
huge...
no idea
just
what they
stupid.
thought they were going to achieve.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
And they prep for it. They've got their workout gear on and everything. Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh, that gives me so much joy. Have you ever rollerblade? Do you rollerblade?
I would think we had roller boot discos.
Also roller skates.
Roller skate discos.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a
teenagers,
roller skate guy too, but the blades were
Yeah.
my next generation
Yeah.
after me.
Yeah.
I'd long gone, but well, apparently this guy's pretty good at what he does. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh no! How are these people not dead?
Oh,
Yep.
oh my God!
Oh, good noise.
Well, and another replay just. Oh, now this painting a picture once again for those people just listening. We've got a guy on a sled,
Yeah.
and he's got a helmet on, and he doesn't look like he's going that fast.
No.
But roll that through, Maddie, because he gets that jump,
Ooh.
and he gets a lot of. And
Oh, that's
pause
not
that,
unfun.
Maddie. was going to say, that looked pretty benign, didn't it?
Is that both legs?
It is.
Oof.
Tibia and fibia. That is not very nice.
Yeah.
I've done the one on the right,
Okay.
but further
I
on down.
have touched veneer, never broken a bone.
There you go.
Partly because I don't do this stuff.
Well, that's what Maddie was saying. That's why females live longer.
Yeah.
Oh, has Ash been in the studio again, mate? Maddie?
Yeah, I think
She did this last time she was in here. She snuck this. She snuck it in. Play it through. Is it getting hot in here?
What's happening?
Is it getting hot in here or
Who
what?
is this man?
He just likes cutting wood, man. I thought you would enjoy that. Because Ash put that in the last one.
Right.
It was just for viewing pleasure.
Yes, maybe she likes it. Yeah.
Now, obviously, the segment's called Dead or Alive. We don't like to see dead people. But what I'm looking at here, I think, is the birth of something.
Okay.
To be quite honest.
I
And
think you can do better than something.
Yeah.
I think you know what it is.
I think
Name
it's.
it.
I think it's a shit baby. I think that's exactly what it is. It is. It's a shit baby.
Oh, they'll be collecting it for fertilizer or something. That's why it's fried.
So that's the reason why I put it in there,
think
because
so.
I know you would know.
I mean, obviously she's holding it like a baby.
It is. It's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
As far as shit babies go, it's very nice.
There we go.
Oh,
Oh no, is he an Amazon delivery guy?
oh, I don't know. I think he's German.
Oh well,
But I mean,
the opposite.
do you judge people on apparatus like
I
this?
think
Do you
does-
judge people on scooters and stuff
Doesn't
like that?
everyone? Yeah, adult, especially adult men in suits on scooters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Saca-rolhas diferente. Vamos lá?
Oh, that's great. He's like, come with me. Oh, on the floor.
Yeah. All I can say is good luck to you, mate.
Yeah.
I think. Oh,
Yeah.
what was that one at the end there, Mary? What do you got there?
Ooh. Phew, fuck, what a buzzy dream. I was dreaming that I was a real boy. But honest to God, I'm still a robot. Fuck, red shit. I thought it was real.
Great accent. Great accent.
There you go. That's Dead or Alive. Thanks for clarifying the shit baby thing, because I was wondering what they were doing with that.
You're
Does
like-
fertilizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that goes
And
straight.
loads of women in developing countries work a lot with livestock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because the men don't like? I thought it was predominantly a
It's
male.
one of these unknown and undervalued voluntary work units is women doing lots of farming. Yeah.
It's funny how some societies and religions and regimes have women doing nothing. Cover them up.
Yeah.
Don't make them speak. Don't make them show hair or
Yep.
legs or anything. And then, as you said, there's other cultures where they're doing exactly what they need to do to sustain a community.
Yeah. Yes. And their families. Yeah.
Of course, of course. Hey, where did we leave off before we went to the halftime break? Do you are you up with the play? Because we were talking finishing university.
Yeah. Then went into the pig industry.
That's right. We're talking.
until I
And
went to
actually,
the
Maddie.
Falklands.
So Maddie just clarified at the halftime break that you're supposed to take the teeth out because the teeth won't digest
Yes.
in the pigs like
Human teeth.
like
just to
corn does.
clarify.
Yeah, like corn does in us. Comes out
Right.
the same way it goes
Yeah.
in. So if you're going to murder somebody, not that we're condoning that,
No.
not that that's not what we do here. Take the teeth out because the pig will eat.
And you will be
everything
found
else.
eventually through dental records. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
if you don't take the teeth out.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
I hope
You still got to dispose of the teeth, I think.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, you do that separately somewhere else apparently. If you're a good criminal,
Yes.
if you're dumb, you'll get caught like everybody else.
Yes.
Yep.
Fingers
exactly.
crossed.
Done the pigs.
Yeah.
Next.
So then Warren and I head off to the Falklands.
Oh, so when did you meet Warren? FYI, because we didn't discuss it. Warren didn't. He obviously didn't talk about you for 42 minutes.
Absent. I think I've got a photo when we first met. So that was about 2011. It wasn't long before we went off to the
I actually don't.
the Falklands.
Is
There we
that
are.
is
That's
that him?
one of the first? We met yeah, that's one of the first times.
Look at Warren, looks so cute, doesn't
Yeah, without the beard.
he? His nice little jacket and purple tie.
Yes, very boozy night by the looks of it.
I was going to say.
There's a nod to someone's obviously brought a tea over to the table to try and help us drink something else except alcohol, I imagine, at that event. But yeah, that's one.
How do you remember how that night ended up?
I don't remember. But yeah, it's good fun. And then we decided to head off.
How old were you guys then? How old?
I think Warren's in his early 40s and I am in my late 30s, I would imagine.
But you met when you were...
It's not far off.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, the horse, the picture of the girls around the horse. So this is around about the same time. So this is my leaving do at my job before I went to the Falklands. And agriculture's sort of seen as a male-dominated industry. But my experience of it has been very 50-50. And these were the women I collected in the job before I went off to the Falklands. And they're all still, I think, most of them I know still are all still in agriculture, which is cool. It's a vocation that people stay with most of their lives, whether they're actually farming or the supportive industries.
Do you agree that you're a product of your environment? So
Yeah.
you are who you are today because of the industry that you chose?
I think it's the industry, the environment, and also the people you hang out with. Yeah.
Because as you say, male-dominated industry, you work with a lot of males.
Yeah, but also a lot of women.
Yeah. So you said 50-50.
I think most of my experiences in the allied industry, so the not directly farming, are there's a huge amount of women working in food and fibre production, which is a sort of fancy way of saying farming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think you've gained out of that period thus far? As personally, like your personal intake versus your output.
I think I understand how everyone is trying. It's a bit of a sort of bold or big statement. I understand that everyone is trying to feed the human population and animal population, because some farmers have to feed animals before they feed us, which is a cool opportunity to have a global perspective like that. Like, some people understand how, air travel works around the world, like as a big picture. And some people understand how shipping works. But I'm lucky enough to understand how food production works around the world and how it all fits together in a big ecosystem. Not the ecosystem of sustainability, but the literally, right, how many animals do we need to feed how many people who are vegan or not? So what do they need to eat? They need to eat legumes, and what will that actually mean to grow all those calories? Yeah. And so I don't take that for granted, I think.
So your outlook on the world stage right now with regards to food production, how has that changed over the decades? Have we gone backwards to come forwards, or?
I don't know if we've gone, it just evolves. Like, farming can be really rudimentary in terms of you can be a person with a few cows and you're trying to survive from check to check. And it can be incredibly technically advanced and propped up by technology. And I think that's the cool thing about food production. There's something for everyone. And I've enjoyed being at different parts of it as I've gone through.
I was going to say, your roles changed. You've had different positions from
I just
when
give
you
anything,
qualified.
anything a go. I'm not really qualified in anything particular apart from giving something a go and having actions that I enjoy learning and delivering. So every job I go to is new. I don't really have any. I have a broad knowledge of what I'm going into, but it's a huge learning curve every time.
So you're not pigeonholed into one section?
No.
So
Annoyingly a generalist, which is actually sort of sometimes more difficult to get a job than having a real specific technical expertise that you can just drop into anything.
Well, that's like that number 8 why mentality from New Zealand, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got why will fix anything. And
Yeah.
and the great thing about, and I've said it before about New Zealanders, is that they do a lot of skills.
Yeah.
And master of it's
Jack of all trades,
Jack of
master of none. Yeah, that's
they
me.
say know how to do
Yeah.
it, like race mechanics. They don't just do motors, they do brakes, they do so.
Yeah.
That's the one good thing about Kiwis. I hope that's still the way today.
Yeah.
That's how I was brought up, is that
Yep.
you were taught to do
Do a bit of
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're going to farm, you farm the pig, you fertilise. You know how to slaughter the
whole
pig,
thing.
so you do
Yep.
the whole shooting match.
Yep.
which is great. Yeah, and I think I've taken that away as a human myself,
Yes.
based on that mentality.
And farming is traditionally, and this is the European farming, which has been going on centuries, and people used to live with their animals that they raised for food. And then there's the pioneering farming in the New World, so America, Australia, New Zealand, where they had to go first, because you can't go anywhere until you've sorted out what you're going to eat. And I'm sure, people that loaned money or made ships, they all sort of said the same thing. But it's up there with one of the first things you need to establish. And I always, if Warren and I are watching a big event, say like the Olympics or even the football that's happening, the soccer World Cup, men's soccer World Cup, I should say. And Warren, the first thing he will always say is, I wonder how they're going to feed all those people. And all that. And massive cities, every morning, if you get up at 4 or 5 in the morning and walk around, it's food trucks coming in, and then it's waste disposal coming out.
Yeah.
And that is, and loads of people just go about their day not even thinking about that. So what I have learned is that is happening all the time.
Well, ignorance is bliss, isn't it?
Yeah.
You go to the footy, you buy a pie, you don't think about
No.
the logistics of it. And
Exactly.
as we talk with your husband about sustainability,
Yeah.
Sometimes it just feels fruitless, where there's all this consuming, and you sort of get to the point where where's it all stop? It's not. It's going to keep on.
Yeah.
It's going to keep on chugging along.
Becoming more efficient.
Yeah.
Which is where you can get a really great job trying to work that out.
So your current position, which you've just started because you've just recently moved from NZ, you're in NZ for 11 years.
Yeah.
What was the highlight of being in NZ for that sort of period of time? I'm sure that surely there was highlights.
Yeah, there's many highlights. What an amazing country! Like it is beautiful, and we built our own house, which was a cool thing to do. And we had
How sustainable was it?
It's well, you can imagine it was pretty sustainable.
So it was expensive to build then, obviously.
I don't know if that is the case.
I reckon it is.
Well, it was. I think it was good. It was a quality we would be used to.
Yeah.
That's one thing I would say about Europe, is they're better at insulation.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's a different kettle of fish over there.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But experienced another female leader in Jacinda Ardern being the leader over there. So very different, for a modern time, high empathy, compared to Maggie that had, some say, very little.
So you gave Maggie 8 out of 10. You're going to rate Jacinda on the record?
On the record, I don't have any challenges with her. I think she's wonderful. I'd give her a solid 9.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think anyone that is a professional career politician should be people that we're supporting, not people that come in and pretend they can.
Well, they don't win a popularity contest.
Yeah. And I think it's just important that those systems are a profession. I don't know anything about, the beehive and how all that works. And
well, that's why we elect these people.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And as you say, you hope it's not just a popularity contest. It's you're voting in somebody that has a good, clear vision of what they want for the country.
And people, I think there is just a naivety that people think it's easy. And look, what's happening in New Zealand at the moment is, someone that has come in from a business background and doesn't seem to know, be able to lead through anything. So I think on reflection, Jacinda did a great job.
That's good. We do have a policy around here, no politics.
Yeah.
So we're just going to leave it at
Okay.
that. We were talking about the documentary, and I'll get to that at some point. And I hope I'm not disappointed, because as we've both discussed, She governed in a period of turmoil, like Dan Andrews did over here. So yeah, it's these events define these leaders, unfortunately, and people have got a lot of bad taste in their mouth.
But it's just an interesting to have those 2 points of reflection, Maggie and Jacinda.
Oh, for you personally, yeah, exactly. Because as you say, you've got strong woman role models.
Yeah.
And we haven't said it yet. It hasn't been brought up, but you're a feminist.
Yes.
You're a pragmatic feminist.
Yes.
I had to fucking Google that.
Well, I've sort of made it up, but yeah.
Well, it's there in black and white on Google.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So I'm not even going to read out the synopsis of it. I'm going to let you...
And it may not align.
I'm going to let you tell me your point of view about feminism and why you're a feminist. I'm just, before we go any further, I'm a feminist too. So we're on the same page, all right?
Yeah.
Let's just tell the listeners what you think.
Well, I have found it difficult to bring up female points of view throughout my career because there has been periods, although I found loads of cool women and I got to work with them and see them do great things, there are also periods of time where there was lots of men.
That's all right. Sit back. Yep.
And what I think is a good way of discussing female point of view is the pragmatic feminist conversation. So it's really easy for you and Warren as privileged white men not to notice that life might be more difficult for other people. I'm not saying you don't as a specific individual.
I get it. Yeah.
And because for many, many, almost centuries, the world has been set up by men, accidentally or on purpose for men. And that doesn't mean to religious groups set the parameters around what women should do in the home versus what men should do. Lots of lack of education, opportunities for women just meant more men were in charge. They were the doctors, they were the policy makers, they were the leaders. And that just meant that many of the outcomes of that reality over many, many decades has been that the female perspective has been invisible in a lot of cases to how we live our lives. So the really famous one is the crash test dummy. So I don't know if you know about the crash test dummy.
I'm about to find out.
Okay.
I'm intrigued.
So the crash test dummy is a male body of about 74 kilos, and all the car safety tests were done on that crash test dummy.
Of that size, of that weight.
Yeah.
Which is important for
and that proportion,
Yep.
that pelvis structure, that bone structure, that neck strength, everything about it is male. And you may remember they even sort of filled a car of 4 of those crash test dummies with no appreciation that in a nuclear family, one of those might be women and 2 of them might be children. So the whole thing was set up around a male body. And this went on for as long as they have crash test dummies. And I wrote down the stats because it's quite interesting. 73% of women that are in a car crash are more likely to be severely injured or die in a front collision because of that reality of those crash test dummies being based on men.
Is it? Can I stop you there? Is this relevant right now today?
Yeah, that was 2019.
So we're talking about vehicles with multiple airbags?
Yep.
Okay, so does that go back to the manufacturer of the airbag, that the airbag caters only to the impact that's technically coming from the crash test dummy, which is based on a 70 kg male?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. 74.
Right.
Yep. And so in 1996, there was a petition for a female crash test dummy. So this is only in 1996, so in our lifetime. And they got one in 2003.
Wow.
So it took that many years.
Another 6 years.
Yeah, for people
7
to
years.
realise women were in the front of cars. They have different body shapes. They were driving. They were more likely to die. And yet it took that long to get a quite a rudimentary female crash test dummy at that point. And they also use that to represent a 12-year-old child. So they still haven't got a child.
So they haven't pared it right down.
No, to be really specific. And maybe, as you say, in 2026, the safety features are such that most people, whatever their shape or size, are protected. But for a long period of time, there was this really increased risk because men were assumed to be the drivers, men were the designers of cars, men were the ones doing the safety. And it wasn't on purpose. It just happens that they just forget there's 50% of the population that are different. And so that's the pragmatic feminist, because it's really difficult to want to have a feminist point of view without being accused of a man-hater, or that you're going to whinge about something, or you're going to be seen as a problem in a social setting. So having really practical examples of why women have been edited out of policy making and practical outcomes such as car safety is an interesting way, because most blokes are interested in practical problem solving, and so you can have a conversation about, oh, actually that does seem sort of oddly unfair. And then there's really unique ones. So in Sweden, there is a higher proportion of women fall down on icy pavements and injure themselves. So 70% of the injuries of people that fall over in the winter are women walking alone.
Do we know the cause of that?
Yes. Yep. So men are in charge of the snow and ice clearing.
Ooh.
And men, because their world is commuting, they clear the commuting pathways first, and they forget that most women are walking their children to school. They are then looking in on elderly parents. They might need to go to the pharmacy to pick up medication, and they spend more time on their feet, and the pavements were just not getting cleared. And it resulted in women falling over and injuring themselves. So when you look at the Lewid lens, you want to reduce the impact on your physical health. You want to be health,
of course,
safety, and safe, and be able to work out at the gym or do whatever you love doing or whatever your activity is. And if I drive a car or walk on a pavement in a snowy country, I, as a woman, am more likely to be injured because of that pursuit.
This is relevant right now today for you.
Yeah.
Do you think, because I hear exactly what you're saying, and as we've discussed, from a male's point of view, it's logical that you have a solution to a problem.
Yep.
But you've got to ascertain that there's a problem in the first place.
Yes.
My question to you is it a resource-based scenario where resources are allocated for certain things and not for other things? So, unfortunately, as you say, the women and the children fall into this this little grey catchment where there's no resources to do. I'm sure it's not an intent. As a female yourself, do you think it's an intentional? Like, there's not guys sitting in a boardroom going,
I'll tell you how we can break some hips.
Exactly.
We'll make them walk on the ice. It's not. This is all unintentional stuff.
Because that's the thing, is like when you think about the next stage of those accidents, is that it puts more pressure on the hospital system.
Yep.
And then you've got a system which is mainly dominated by female nursing staff.
Yep.
Right, which is another argument or another story altogether. So it makes no sense to do that.
Yeah. Economically, people can't go to work because they might have had a fall, which means they've got to take time off sick, which puts burden on the welfare state, puts burden on the businesses that are employing those people because they've got to cover them. So there's an economic reality to not having the female perspective in decision making for things like safety and snow clearing. And there's
you've
many
given two.
others.
You've given us two examples.
Yeah.
Do you think now, today, sitting here as an adult woman, that it's still prevalent and it's still a situation where females, situations are being ignored, and they've been consciously ignored? Do you agree with that, or do you think it's just? And we're talking about different cultures, different communities, different societies, different parts of the world. What affects you most today, right now, as far as that is concerned?
If Adrian turned up now and told you he had an aching left arm and he was having trouble breathing, what would you suggest was wrong with him?
I presume that he's having a heart attack.
Yeah. Do you believe that the symptoms are the same for women?
I know that they're different.
Yeah.
I also know that females are less likely to go to the doctors than what a male is. And that once again comes down to them, where they fit in society with families, with responsibilities, and they're looking after more so with women with children. Yeah. They're looking after they're not thinking about themselves. They're looking after. And we know that the onset of a heart attack in a female presents differently than what it does
very differently
in a male.
So it's jaw ache and nausea mostly. And what happens if you go to the doctor with, as a woman with a nausea-based issue, they often say, "Oh, you're probably just emotional or having anxiety," and go home. So you're more likely to die of a cardiac situation because you've been misdiagnosed, because all the research was done by men on men. But now there are some understanding that they present differently, and therefore doctors can actually save women's lives who are about to have a cardiac arrest.
Well, my question to you is, when was the last time you went to the doctor?
I don't have the same challenges of not, because I have a selfish lifestyle, which means I can go to the doctor whenever I want.
Yeah. That you didn't answer my question. When did you last go to the doctor?
I went to the doctor only a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to ask the specifics of it, but on a regular basis, you're coming up to 50 years old.
Yes.
So you're doing all the standard female checks.
Yep.
You're doing breast checks. You're doing skin checks.
Yep.
Echocardiogram. When was the last time you got your heart checked?
I haven't had my heart checked yet.
Okay. You're coming into 50, so you automatically go and get a poo test.
Yeah.
Right? So colonoscopy maybe in the thing.
Yeah.
So my point to you is that I understand male and females are different. I understand they have different outlooks and they have different priority lists, and they tick things off differently. We're talking about the lurid thing, and the lurid thing is it doesn't matter where you are at what point of your life. You should look after yourself.
Definitely.
Like you do. You service your car.
Yeah.
It's no different.
Yeah.
And as you get you hit these points in your life, like you coming up to 50, you need to be checking more boxes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, we understand that females present differently when they're having a heart attack, but they're more likely to have a heart attack because they haven't been to the doctor and they haven't had the checks that would maybe indicate something was a problem in the first. People don't die of heart attacks just like that for no reason.
Yeah.
It accumulates to a point where there's a crescendo, and that's what happens. So
there's a lot of evidence to show that men don't seek medical advice either.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with it. But statistically, females don't look after themselves in that respect because they're thinking about other people.
Yeah. Yes.
That's why females are better nurses.
Yeah.
More compassionate. That's I mean, there's no argument about that.
Yeah.
You know? And
there's a brilliant journalist who writes loads of stuff on feminism called Caitlin Moran in Britain, and she calls it, for men who don't seek medical advice, she calls it the bacon sandwich reckoning, which is men don't want to go to the doctors to seek medical advice because they kind of know they're going to get told to have less fun and not to eat as many bacon sandwiches and drink and smoke if they do, and
it's
all
all
the rest of it.
self-inflicted though. That's the thing, and that's why I don't understand people of an older age.
Yeah.
It's cause and effect.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think I'm in the bracket of people who are interested in their health and their bodies, and I work out and I want to pursue a longer life, and especially with not having any children or any wider family to look after me, I have to look after myself. So
is this just a recent revelation, or has it been something that's been top of mind for
I think, yeah, for at least a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had one of the interesting things growing up in my household, and even in my era, is the non-competitive. So we mentioned that it wasn't be the best at something. It was just give it a go. And I think one of the downsides of my school and family is I was told that being competitive wasn't the right thing to be. It was a sort of more of a negative to be competitive. So I'd never explored that. And then when I got fitter, as I got older and really pursued my fitness, I started doing some fitness competitions. And I did share a couple of those photos.
Oh, what have we got? I saw you on a mountain bike.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, one.
That's not. Is that Is that Hydrox? Is it?
That's CrossFit.
Oh, CrossFit.
And the idea that 20-year-old Helen would be lined up with all these other women, being judged by men, with how many reps and sets you can do, was completely alien to me. But once I started doing it, I loved it. And that is an area of a competitive nature that I hadn't explored before.
So the thing is, getting back to what we're talking about, it doesn't matter who's yelling at you to get more reps, does it? Doesn't matter if it's a male or a female.
No.
It's about getting the job done and completing the task.
But that'd be quite daunting for some people, whether it's men judging women or women judging. That's why there's women-only gyms, because people just feel more comfortable. But I really loved that competitive side of me, and I got really into it for a few years. And then went into the biking. So I did started doing adventure racing. And this is the road between Gisborne and Portakey. There's a huge...
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And so I did this big adventure race down the river there. So I taught myself, Ben Fooey, who was an Olympic kayaker, taught me to whitewater kayak.
Awesome.
Did the bike thing and ran, and 9 hours I did.
Oh, it's like an ultra.
Yeah, it's like a triathlon thing.
Yeah. Without the swimming.
And had a great support person.
Who was that?
In Warren.
Warren, good on you, mate.
And just again, the person in my 20s who was partying and drinking and didn't realise competitive pursuits were a benefit to your own well-being. I think very surprised.
I think that's a natural progression for a lot of people. And as I was going to say earlier, the great thing about today, where we're at with regards to physical fitness, you have so many options to choose from. As you say, CrossFit's not everybody.
No.
Female gyms for the ladies that don't want to be in a male environment.
Yeah.
Hydrox, you've got boxing classes, you've got HIIT, you've got everything, F45, the whole gamut. And the beauty about that is that there should be nobody falling through those gaps, because sure, party in your teens, you get overweight, you get to a point where you go, fuck, what am I doing? You find something that spins your wheels, cycling, running, whatever. You start seeing the benefits, you drop the weight, you feel so much better. Life's better. Your community, your circle grows because of the environment that you're in. That's the beauty about that. And I think fitness is universal. And as we've said previously, it's so important going into your later years. Maintaining muscle mass, cognitive function, and dopamine, just feeling good.
Yes.
You know? And that projects through everybody that's in your circle and your family, your friends. They can all see. Everybody can see when somebody turns a corner, and it's so good to see. I like even social media, although I don't like to consume a lot of it. You can see these people that have had a catalyst.
Yeah.
You know? And we talk about what cool. Cookie might not want me to talk about it.
Yeah.
And we can always edit it out. But Cookie sat here for our 50th, and he watched that, and he didn't like what he saw.
Right.
And he's dropped 15 kgs. He's made some changes. And as I said with Lewis, if we can just affect one person one time, or one person at a time, job's done. Happy days. How good's that?
Yeah.
It's so good to see. People getting diagnosed for ADHD, anything and everything. When was the last time you went to your doctor? Go to your fucking doctors. Go to your dentist. Go get your skin checked. Just get everything in. Put your ducks in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then everything else should be so much better.
Yeah. And I think if you are interested in yourself and put yourself up there in the order of things, the health and fitness comes with that.
Well, as I said, you've got to be selfish. We talked about it. You have to be.
Yeah.
Because if you're not the best version of you, well, then it's going to impact your partner. It's going to impact anybody else, your kids.
And your job.
Yeah, well, exactly. Your co-workers.
Yeah.
Nobody wants you turning up grumpy because, whatever.
Yeah. Because just because you're not functioning properly. Yeah.
Hey, quick question for you. You're in the batting zone for menopause.
Yes.
Obviously, you've seen the episodes that we've had.
Yeah.
Are you in there? Are you on the cusp of it? Has there been any revelation with regards to any sort of symptoms or anything for perimenopause?
So I get blood checks regularly to see how I'm tracking in terms of my hormones.
Yep.
I'm very grateful to my own self that I've invested in my bone and muscle mass with CrossFit in particular.
Yeah, makes a big difference.
I've got a high muscle mass, which is incredibly helpful going through menopause. You're less likely to have any of the bigger symptoms. But yeah, definitely like alcohol's more difficult to process. I wake up in the night really hot. I don't know whether everything's just more irritating or I'm more irritable. Who knows?
So you're in the hit zone. You hot flashes. The mood. Because as you say, it's just a hormonal imbalance.
Yeah.
Has there been any talk about HRT or anything?
Yeah, I definitely would happily go on to HRT as soon as I need to, but my testosterone is high because of my muscle mass.
Yeah.
My estrogen I had tested when I went back to the UK because it's really cheap to have tests done there. It's incredibly high, so that's fine. And I have artificial progesterone anyway through my contraception, so I'm pretty much balanced with that. But even with that, I still notice the tiredness goes up and down, and the heat at night is just insane.
But there's a conscious awareness of what's going on.
Yes, wherefore I think the last generation barely knew what was happening to them.
Well, I've seen and had conversations with females of our generation, and completely flown under the radar.
Yeah.
And that may be because they didn't have any symptoms at all, and there was no communication between the partners or anything, because obviously it affects it's
everyone in the household.
Well, exactly. Anybody, even your cats and dogs, they know.
Yeah.
They can figure it out. So but it's funny because obviously it's not something that I specifically like to talk about or be a spokesperson for.
Yeah.
But what we're doing here, it sort of fell into the wheelhouse
Totally.
of, because I would more likely like to talk to females about stuff than sometimes with males. I want your point of view. I want your objective criticism to scenarios and situations. Because, hey, I'm a feminist. I love women. Simple as that.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think so. They say it's a third for women. So a third will go through with no symptoms. A third will have a range of the symptoms, and a third will almost have catastrophic physical and mental changes. And it destroys people's lives if they don't. It
destroys marriages.
Yeah. And if they don't
communicate.
get it managed in some way. And there was obviously all the demonizing of HRT, which is now being slowly sort of killed off by celebrities picking up that it's a great thing and telling everyone about it.
Well, it's when you break it down, fundamentally, it's a hormone issue. It's an issue with hormones.
Totally.
It's the same with guys if they've got low testosterone or they have high estrogen for whatever reason.
And men have had really great results from having testosterone, sort of mood swings, sleep, all those kind of things.
Yeah, TRT
really
replacement.
help.
Yeah. Well, I'm on TRT. Yeah, brilliant.
It
Absolutely
just needs to be easier to actually do, because it's you have to have a lot of tests, and then it's quite a difficult process to get it.
Yeah.
And men face the same challenge because it's new. Go to a doctor, say I'm having these symptoms. It's like, well, everyone's kind of moody and kind of can't sleep because of social media and lifestyle and all the rest of it. But if you can actually get a doctor that wants to talk about testosterone replacement therapy, it's great.
You've got to seek specifically out those
Yeah.
doctors, because your local GP, because you think about it, 50-year-old males, 70-80% of them are overweight, they're carrying visceral
Yeah.
fat, they're drinking
Do
too
something
much,
about that first and then come back and see us.
low mood, not sleeping. So to qualify for TRT through the Medicare system, you have to be very, very low, to the point where you don't want to get out of bed and you're fucking crying like a
Yeah.
kid. And that's
And that's only
sad. That
picking up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if a 50-year-old male has a normal to low range, the option should be there for them to be able to take that on. It's not for everybody. It's not a fix.
No.
It's not a fix
And it shouldn't
at
be,
all.
yeah.
The reason why I took it was because the current medication that I was on for my bipolar was dipping away, and I did some research and thought, well, if we can get the two aligned together and get on some sort of better level pegging, it's going to be beneficial.
Yeah.
And it definitely has been. So
Yeah.
it definitely with just the muscle mass, just maintaining that, or
Yes.
obtaining that muscle mass,
Yeah.
leg strength. Everything like that, as we said, carrying it through to your older age, your later years is very important.
And just to challenge you, it's cry like a normal adult human.
Sorry, what did I say?
Cry like a kid.
Cry like a baby.
It's
Did I say
also
cry like a
okay.
baby?
No, you said kid, but it's
Did I?
okay to cry as an adult, whatever gender you identify as.
True.
Yeah.
I do cry. I'm a big baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very normal human reaction.
Thanks for
Cry.
pulling me up on that.
That's all right.
Is there anything else that you want to pull me up on?
Not
yet?
at the moment.
No, not at the moment. I've been very, very conscious about not stepping over certain lines.
Yeah.
And it's I don't want to create content for the sake of creating.
No.
I want a genuine conversation.
Yeah.
With somebody like yourself, and hopefully we can solve a few world's
Yeah,
problems.
totally.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there slowly. We're getting there. So for you personally, this pragmatic
Yep.
feminism, when were you first aware, as a female, that this was something that was affecting you or could affect you going forward?
I think in some way, if you are, I think it's always been, Margaret Thatcher was unusual on reflection probably in my 20s. And we had Germaine Greer as the feminist icon of my mother's generation, who's got some limitations, but she was trying something. And then every generation has its own female icons. Madonna being one of them. She was out there doing something a bit different. So you kind of collect these people along the way, and you sort of form your own opinions. But as I've got older, I think the sort of policy setting and the understanding of how the world is working in men making a world for other men by accident, because I think we can all agree on the ones that are done on purpose are diabolical. But there's so many people out there campaigning for that side of feminism, and rightly so. But I'm interested in a type of feminism that you can have a logical conversation with. So, my mum, I would say, is a feminist, but she will introduce me as, this is my daughter, she hates men. Because it's like, I don't hate men. I just have something to say about how the world is set up. Yeah. So that's what I'm interested in now.
So right now, if you could do one thing to fix one problem, with regards to this male-dominated world that we live in, what would it be?
Female confidence is huge. So most of the women I have managed must say the word sorry about 20 times more than I probably managed men that have never said the word sorry, even when they have stuffed up or been an idiot. And I always have a rule that I let any woman know who works for me is, unless you've run over my cat, I don't want to hear you apologizing. Because just turning up to say sorry 20 times a day for your own existence or your own opinion or your own feelings is a strange way to go about life. Because ultimately, being confident, you don't have to be overconfident. You just have to be logical about what you're good at and what you're not good at. So I've never had imposter syndrome. I don't relate to that at all, because I genuinely know what I'm good at, and I genuinely don't know what I'm terrible at, and I wouldn't go for a job that I was terrible at those things. So I go for jobs that I know I can do. So why would I second guess myself? I have normal levels of anxiety about big meetings or decisions I've got to make, but I don't feel someone's going to catch me out and sack me because of it. So if I could have an opportunity for women to own what they're good at, because men own what they're good and bad at. What's the percentage of men that think they could beat Venus Williams or Serena Williams at tennis? It's stupid.
Yeah.
So there's that kind of level of confidence, but there's also just knowing yourself. It's actually really simple, just like health and fitness is actually really simple.
Having a conscious awareness.
Yeah.
Do you agree that the young generation of females coming through do not have that mindset? They have, if you think about social media, they're putting themselves out there. There's a lot of confident young females out there. And it seems like society is dictated for young females as if you're not putting yourself out there, you're a pariah, or you're not a normal young female. Would you agree with that? Or
yeah, I think are people on social media actually confident? There's probably an argument to say
that's a completely different podcast altogether, I suppose. But so but the thing is that what I'm trying to say is I think that okay, sure, you can be confident on social media and you could have a troubled internal existence.
Yep.
Lonely without a lot of friends. I get that that's the case, but I'm just saying I think young people these days are a lot more carefree than what I was at 15 and 16. They have different values, they have different outlooks on life.
Yeah.
And I think it's less I was going to say not dramatic. I think it's just there's less need for them to perform and provide. I'm going to probably edit that out because I don't know where I was going with that, Maddie. But so I believe that the youth are just a little bit more exuberant than what we are, what we were. Sorry, as would you agree with that or
it's hard to
yes
know,
or no?
because I think we didn't see ourselves because we didn't have social media.
Yeah.
So I would describe myself as boisterous and exuberant and opinionated and pretty obnoxious at times.
You?
Yeah.
No.
But you grow up. So if you see any young people, I just think, oh, they're young.
Yeah.
They'll work it out. And I try, I'll judge them in the moment if they're loud or irritating or, oh, God, you're going to regret that Instagram post. But you've got to allow people that. And it's probably every generation does it differently.
Yeah. Well, I agree with they've got different problems.
Yeah.
They've got different things to worry
Yeah,
about.
and the popularity on Instagram is probably a reality. Our popularity was down the pub, and whether you had enough mates to make a good night out, we were still probably in the same ballpark. But it was just so locked down to our little town or our little social group, and now everything's everywhere. Yeah.
Is that why we seek these little nights out of the pub? Because we're yearning what we had when we were
I
younger?
imagine.
You
Yeah.
think?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do miss those days.
Yeah.
I do miss those days.
Processing the alcohol was the easy part. Yeah. But yeah, I don't begrudge them their youth. I think they should have it, and they'll have a whole bank of experiences based on that to take through. Yeah, I worry about more in the work context that women could be more know themselves a bit better, so they could get some of those advantages with job promotions and things earlier.
So if you had a daughter, how would you be advising her going forward? Would you be trying to bestow the narrative that we're doing right now into her as a young female, or would you let her find herself?
I think you have to let people find themselves. I mean, the most bizarre thing about that is most people don't. They do the opposite of their parents.
Of course,
it's a very
yeah.
easy path to take. So I don't think you, not having made the conscious decision not having children, I feel exposed sort of saying anything about how one would go about it. But I think you just role model but smartly and quietly, so they can see it happening.
Yeah.
They can draw on it eventually,
Yeah.
but they have to make their own
It's
mistakes.
about those fundamentals.
Yeah.
We talked about it before.
Yeah. You just bring people up to be lots of different things, polite, kind.
Exactly.
And also
core values, respect,
yeah,
all that sort of stuff.
Rather than you will go to this university and you will study this, and it's just a hiding to nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for listening to our latest episode of Luid's State of Mind. Don't forget to head to our website, luidsstateofmind.com, for all our previous podcast episodes and, of course, our famous merch. We've just released a new range of merchandise, and there's something for everyone. So head to luidsstateofmind.com and buy something today. Wow, that was good. That was fun.
Good.
I like that.
Facts.
Facts.
Yes.
Facts are fun. Facts are fun. So you've obviously had a good time this afternoon. It's
Yes.
been, we've talked in the breaks down in the
Yeah.
tea room.
Yeah.
Everything's gone well.
Yes. Yep.
You've enjoyed the experience.
Yes, very much so. Thank you.
Which is great. Is there anything that you want to ask me? Anything specific that you think you?
Well, just thinking about what I brought up around policy making and men designing systems that sometimes disadvantage by accident women.
You say by accident. I know deep down you don't mean by accident, because everything's by design.
Yeah.
You would say. Is that you being a female justifying that it's happened and it affects you?
I think there are things that people just do blindly without thinking. And I think if you're trying to have a conversation with a man about how our world is slightly different to your world, it sometimes is easier to say, for the sake of this conversation, let's say it's by accident. Because the opposite is to then go into a confrontational.
Oh, so you think if you don't say it's by accident that I would be offended as a male because you're blaming me as a male for the mistakes that other people
I
have
think
made?
going into the conversation with the generosity of spirit, let's just for this conversation say it's by accident, we'll get a better response from you.
Yeah.
If I went, what are you lot doing ignoring us when you're out with your snowplows, it's more confrontational.
Well, we're comfortable. We're comfortable. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
We know each other.
Yeah.
Ask me something or tell me something I don't know about males that impact you as a female.
Well, there's some. There is. What do I want to say? Hold on.
It's all right. Take your time. No pressure.
I don't want to get into a long conversation about women being unsafe, because it's a different topic, because that's more about purposeful.
Women unsafe in what situation?
Just being out and about, or dating, or being
Okay.
on the tube late at night,
Yep.
or whatever. So I didn't really want to go, because that's more the purposeful. So I want to stick to the, let's just say it's accidental, because then that's a more interesting conversation, because it's not.
Oh, well, look, to be quite honest, I'd rather have the other conversation.
Okay.
I'd rather have the conversation where you tell me this is what impacts us, me personally, and why do you think this is happening as a male?
Yeah.
Do you want my perspective on it, or
Yeah. Well, I'll give
does it
you
matter
the-
what I think or not?
Of course it does.
Yeah.
It matters what everyone thinks.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of really good analogies to think about women's safety out and about, either on dates or on public transport, and sometimes, unfortunately, in their own homes. But there's the one about the packet of Maltesers or the sharks. Which analogy would you prefer?
Maltesers, please.
Okay.
Yep.
So you got a bag of Maltesers.
Mm-hmm.
You're digging into them. You're like, oh, I love Maltesers. Then someone tells you, by the way, 3 of those Maltesers in that bag are actually balls of shit. And you don't know which one. They all look the same. And you don't know until you bite into the Malteser which one is shit and which one is a Malteser. And that is a reality for a lot of women who are dating or walking through parks late at night, maybe, or different areas that are dark and more, you feel more vulnerable and they're more dangerous. You don't know whether the guy that walks past you is a Malteser, that is a proper Malteser, or Malteser,
a bag of shit,
which is a Malteser of shit. And that kind of constant is our passenger every day. We're constantly thinking about that.
Can I retort to that?
Yeah.
The situation that you've put yourself in as a female is unsafe.
Right.
So my question to you is it about making choices? Is it about making choices to be safer or to go to safer options? An Uber or whatever. Don't walk down that dark alley. I mean, I understand. Look, I'll walk down a dark alley and I'll have my keys in my hand ready to stab somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not a female.
Yeah.
I still can relate to a fear-based emotion because of I understand consequence.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not trying to be a dick here. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I understand what happens and why it happens. And what I'm trying to say is it's a lot of times it's about cause and effect. Would you agree to that?
I do not. I don't agree that women should have to have. It would be a surely a smarter world if everyone could just walk everywhere safely.
Oh, that's the ideal. That's a fairy tale.
And we want to get to
that's utopia.
But it shouldn't be, because ultimately men and women can control their actions. So what we're saying is that women have to change their behavior because men can't control themselves.
No, I agree.
Yeah?
I agree with that.
So we want to get as close to that not being the reality as possible. And loads of it's like comes through films, and we watch Crime Watch as children, and it said don't be kept up at night because you hear all this scary stuff. And there are thousands of Maltesers out there that are not going to do anything, but it's a reality.
Yeah.
And I do not. I'd like to think that the generations that carry on can walk in as many places as possible, and ultimately, people potentially on drugs or who are significantly mentally ill are the dangers because of they have no logical ability to work out their actions. But the general population should be able to live in a world where they don't want to attack women.
As an adult female,
Yeah.
do you put yourself in those situations where you become vulnerable?
I don't, because that's where I've got years of that reality. And if I did feel unsafe, I always have a system. So I'll phone Warren and say I'm walking, just be on the phone with me.
Yeah.
But I do take umbrage to the line, you put yourself in situations, because ultimately that's still making it sound like it's our problem.
Well, everybody makes choices.
Yeah.
Like you can take the pedestrian crossing, or you can try to dodge traffic and jaywalk.
Yeah.
So everybody makes choices. And as I said, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be a dick about it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get perspective.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand, because my mind as a male, however I've been brought up, product of my situation, product of my environment, I think logically about things.
Yeah.
And it's about, once again, it's about cause and effect. It's like you either take the pedestrian crossing, which is the safest route,
Yeah.
or you dodge traffic on a 4-lane highway by jaywalking.
Yeah. And maybe it's a contrast thing, because I would always jaywalk if, I always try and...
Well, that's that renegade.
Cut corners, maybe go up an escalator the wrong way, whatever it might be, cut through a line. So I'm not a rule... I don't follow rules all the time. So the abruptness of the reality of following a rule when you feel unsafe is more of a contrast than if you were someone that always took the zebra crossings and always stood on the right side of the yellow line when the train was arriving. So yeah, I think that's the deliberate reality of some of the of existing as a woman.
What's your biggest fear as a female today, right now?
Biggest fear is to be frightened. I do not want to be in a situation where I'm frightened. I don't like the idea of a lot of other people being frightened, because I can't speak for any other groups that feel frightened.
Describe being frightened to me. If I don't understand what frightened means, try to explain to me.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's particularly. If I watch a murder show, I watch loads of TV
True
shows.
crime?
Not true crime, just
No.
detective shows.
Okay.
But I like it when they arrive and the body is already dead. The body is being found on the ground, and that's how the story starts. I don't like watching shows where they filmed the murder. So I don't like to be exposed to that level of someone being frightened. Okay. And I don't like the idea that women walk going about their business and their heart rate could be increased. They could be going through all sorts of scenarios in their brain. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure most times it doesn't account to anything. But the idea that as a human species, one half wants to frighten the other half is sort of beyond my comprehension, really. Yeah. When
you put it like that, it's not a very nice scenario, isn't it? So, I very rarely live in fear. I very rarely have the emotion of fear. It'd have to be something pretty dramatic for me to light me up to induce fear.
Yeah.
Whereas you're saying as a female, it can be very easly brought to the surface.
Regular.
And you're saying on a regular basis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And someone said on a podcast the other day, as it was a dude, and he said, what can I do to sort of, if I'm walking my dog early in the morning,
to mitigate,
to go, I'm not one of those Maltesers that's full of shit.
Yeah.
And I couldn't actually provide an answer. What can you do to go to make out that because to me, a lone man walking when I am alone is a threat. And I'm strong and I'm practical and I can run fast and all those things. And it's illogical to think that I am any more interesting to that lone man than anyone else. But there's something in you that just goes, right, this could be an issue. And I don't know what a man could do to act less of a threat, apart from, if they were running or doing something that they were obviously in focus too. So they're out running, they're not out doing anything else.
Yeah.
So that's a really hard question to answer. Do you think you adjust yourself?
I'm very conscious of it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty about where I am today is understanding where I fit in the whole ecosystem. I've always been, and that was one thing that was taught to me from a young age. I open doors. I do all that standard stuff. I respect females. There's no reason why I've ever had a situation to not respect a female.
Yeah.
So I do the basics. I do as a male, as a man.
Yeah.
I think for me to think that a female is scared of me for whatever reason or whatever I've done is abhorrent.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't sit well at all. It doesn't sit, but just listening to you here today, I, to be honest, had no idea as a female that's how you feel. That's that, and this is not a one-time thing. It's not an event that's happened in your life. It's an ongoing scenario, and it's an everyday. I wouldn't say it's an everyday struggle. It's real. It's real in your existence on a daily basis.
Yeah, and I think that it is for most women. Some, I can't speak for everyone, but it is a really interesting reality that the globe has, give or take, 50% of one gender and 50% of another, and a few in between. And it is still odd to me to think as a civilization and a population that are trying to progress and stay alive for evolutionary purposes, that in a number of countries or a number of individuals have demonized 50% of our workforce, because we can offer loads of cool stuff like that lady we saw working with her cows on the video, that it just seems counterintuitive to evolution to reduce.
Well, you know who's going to fuck it all up, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a male.
Yeah.
It's going to be a guy on a button with his finger on a button.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be driven by male ego and which is really fucked when you think about it.
Yes.
You know, when you think about how far humans and civilization has come.
Yes. And then we might throw it all away.
I'm sure we fucking will. You know, we're probably not going to see it. I hope my kids don't see it. I hope my grandkids don't see it. But you can, you know, I was obviously talking to your husband Warren about sustainability. It's like, you know, once you're gone, it doesn't matter. But it's hard not to give a shit. And it's hard not to, as you say, think about the next generation and the generation after that.
Well, if you're interested in life is exciting, life's an adventure, life's lots of experiences, then you're interested in how it works. Those people that, you know, just have hardship or are not particularly interested, they're just going about their daily, probably just don't think about this stuff.
No, because they've got bigger fucking fish to fry, haven't they? You know, when you got to put food on the plate and feed a family and you know, and just survive. You know?
Or just not interested in, just go through the motions and go out the other side with no hardship. But if you are fascinated about how the world works, then you do look into this stuff and you think about it. Yeah.
Well, the one thing I've come to understand is that we're just spinning on this big fucking rock in space, and it's infinite, and there's thousands of billions and millions and trillions of galaxies and stars and fucking and really our existence shouldn't mean fuck all. But the fact that we're here now is such a miracle, such a unique thing.
Very unique.
You know, that I think people sometimes take it for granted. It's like understand your surroundings, understand how you fit into the whole ecosystem. Don't ever take it for granted, and just understand how precious it is.
Yeah. Well, and you can imagine those few people that have gone to space or to the moon and they look back on the Earth. No wonder it's such a mind-blowing experience. Yeah,
it is. It's insane. Hey, do you think we've covered everything today? You're happy? You're happy with today?
Yes. Yeah, very much.
I can. We've got thumbs up from the booth. Cool. Warren's got a thumb. He's cheers, Warren. I'm glad he approves for everything.
Yeah.
As I said, once again, it's been a fantastic conversation. It's been great to have you here. I really appreciate your time. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes.
I hope you come back, because I'm sure we've got more to converse about. And as I said, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
That's a wrap, Matt.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in and for your time. You know the vibe, I'm steady living until I die. It's a loose state of mind, and we showed you that. Keep it authentic and real, I hope you coming back. Hey, make sure that you subscribe, cause we got it popping all the time, man, it's going down. If you wanna elevate, wanna live a better life, keep it locked here. You know it's a loose state of mind, let's go.